Good evening. Welcome to the video lecture series of basic electronics module number 1, lecture number 4. So today we are going to see what is actually the Zener diode and what is the another how the Zener diode can be used as an voltage regulator and how the Zener diode is different from basic normal p-n junction diode. Okay, before understanding the Zener diode, okay, so what is actually diode and how the diode is constructed by making use of a silicon material or a germanium material. So based on that, is it possible to develop any application related to this particular Zener diode? We have one application called as an voltage regulator. Most of the time, this type of application is normally used in home appliances, like we have an voltage regulator, okay, or simply we can call it as a stabilizer, where the voltage level, even if it is getting fluctuation from the kV side, it will be maintained as a constant voltage. Okay, then apart from that, if any high fluctuation voltage which is from the high transmission line occurs, then this particular type of the regulator, it will prevent our electronic devices or the equipment or the home appliances from getting damaged. So here, once you go for the looking at the Zener diode, so Zener diode, basically it is used for the stabilization of the output voltage, okay, with the number of low ripples under varying load conditions or varying load current conditions. The difference is like normally what actually happens is whenever we apply voltage, okay, so basically it is normally 230 volt 50 hertz of voltage is applied to AC operated devices or not, or it can or a DC voltage. Okay, the difference is if you want to have a conversion from an analog voltage or sorry analog current or a DC current, analog to DC or AC to DC, okay, we require some device in between that for that particular conversion. There is nothing but the rectifier. So before going for a rectifier, this particular Zener diode, it is used to produce the stabilized output, but at the output side. Okay, it means that if I try to allow an input voltage of 230 volt at a 50 hertz of 50 hertz of frequency, okay, so is it possible that I can have a very less number of ripples? Okay, so basically the ripple is nothing but it's a kind of a distortion. Okay, it's a kind of a distortion. So what do you mean by distortion? Is nothing but if you take an AC signal or a sinusoidal signal, if it is applied to a normal any appliances, okay, this is a pure AC signal. Now if you say that if you see how actually the AC signal, if it is in terms of the ripples, okay, ripples are nothing but a distortion due to the environmental changes or because of the sometimes because of the transformer or because of some kind of change in the property of the material or change in the properties of or change in the property of the devices. Okay, so the ripples will be like this small kind of distortions will be there in the analog signal. Okay, so we call it as a ripple. So if we say that this particular type of ripple is applied for any of the appliances or devices, then your devices will fluctuate. Okay, we just take an example of the AC current. Normally the AC current is 230 or 50 hertz of supply, right? If any change in the supply or if there is a small fluctuation or the ripple in this 230 volt supply, then our devices may not work properly. Okay, this usually happens during the rainy season or during the thunders. Okay, because there is a lot of fluctuations will be in the high transmission line. So there may be possibility that it may cross this 230 volt of supply and it may damage our device. Okay, so not to have the not to get our devices damaged because of the change in the supply voltage, okay, we try to stabilize that particular output voltage, okay, with low ripple under varying load conditions. Load current varying is nothing but the output voltage or the output load current will not be a constant. Okay, it is it is continuously varying with respect to time. Okay, and how this can be achieved is by making use of Zener diode. So Zener diode is one kind of one type of an application or one type of a device, semiconductor devices made up of a silicon or it can also be a germanium. Most of the time we go for the silicon material. So by making use of Zener diode, it is possible to maintain the output voltage constant or output voltage stabilized under the varying load condition. And how this can be achieved? By passing a small current through a diode, okay, from a voltage source by current limiting resistor. Now we know the operation of a normal resistor is which opposes the flow of charge, which opposes the flow of current, right? So if I take a normal current limiting resistor in series with the diode, Zener diode, then that particular Zener diode will try to maintain an voltage constant of sufficient voltage drop across the output voltage. Okay, so we cannot say that the output voltage drop, it will be a varying voltage drop. So it is still possible if you design a circuit diagram, or if you design a normal stabilizer such that even if you change the input voltage, your output is still maintained constant. Okay, now the another thing is, it is also possible for the DC voltages, but to have a DC voltage, you need to convert an analog signal to a an analog current to a digital direct current, or you can say that alternating current to a direct current. How this is possible? By making use of either half wave rectifier or the full wave rectifier. The reason for making use of this type of conversion, either it is half wave or it is a full wave, is just to remove the unwanted DC components in the AC signal. Okay, or you can simply say, just for the conversion from AC to DC, we go for half wave rectifiers, or it can be the full wave rectifier, where the load conditions are maintained constant irrespective of any AC input supply. Now, how we try to stabilize the output voltage by making use of the normal Zener diode here is, if just take a Zener diode, okay, which is operated under the reverse bias. Now, before making it into as a regulator part, now what actually the Zener diode is all about? Okay, when it comes to the Zener diode, basically it is operated under the reverse bias, not forward bias. This is the first difference between your normal PN junction diode and a Zener diode. The normal PN junction diode, it operates under the forward bias, right? So if I take a PN junction diode, so PN junction diode operates under forward bias always. So if I say it is a forward bias, your device is set to be turned on. If you say it is a reverse bias, so under the reverse bias, the device is set to be off. Okay, now this condition is applied for a normal PN junction diode. Okay, now when it comes to a Zener diode, so Zener diode operates under reverse bias. Means reverse, if the device is reverse, if a Zener diode is reverse bias, it is set to be turned on, and if it is forward bias, your device is set to be turned off. It is what the difference between the normal Zener diode and the PN junction diode. So therefore, Zener diode is operated under the reverse bias, and in quadrant number 3. We cannot say that it is completely turned on if you look at the characteristics curve of the Zener diode. Okay, so this is the symbol of Zener diode. The difference between this difference in symbol between a normal PN junction diode and a Zener diode is, this is a normal PN junction diode where this is anode and this is cathode, and this is your Zener diode. Just draw two lines here, so this becomes anode and this is cathode. This is anode and this is cathode. Therefore, the first difference is they are operated under the forward bias, that is PN junction diode, and the Zener diode is operated under the reverse bias, and this is the symbol for the Zener diode. So if you look at this characteristics curve of the Zener diode here, it is again plotted with respect to the current and versus the voltage, forward voltage versus the forward current. So if I say this is quadrant number 1, where you can see this forward voltage is varied between 0.3 to 0.7 volt. It is considered for both the germanium and the silicon. Okay, so 0.3 is for germanium, okay, and 0.7 is for silicon. And this region is known as reverse breakdown region, or simply Zener breakdown region, and it is in quadrant 3. This is quadrant 2 and this is quadrant 4. Okay, and as your Zener diode is operated under the reverse bias, it means that when the device is reverse biased, your Zener diode turns on or it conducts. Now, again, there is another thing which we need to focus in this Zener diode is in Zener diode, if you say the Zener diode differences or the Zener diode uh, in the Zener diode, there are two different types of effects are there. Okay, so the first possibility we can say one is Zener breakdown region or Zener breakdown region. The another is avalanche breakdown. So Zener diode, it is basically, again we say that it's a PN junction similar to a PN junction diode, but the only difference is it operates under the reverse breakdown. And in Zener diode, there are two types of breakdowns are possible under the reverse bias. One is a Zener breakdown and another is avalanche breakdown. Okay. Now, what do you mean by Zener breakdown and avalanche breakdown? In Zener breakdown region, okay, it occurs with a Zener voltage less than 6 volt, and when it is avalanche breakdown, the breakdown occurs for a Zener diode with the Zener voltage greater than 6 volt. Okay, so it means that when you look at the characteristics curve of a Zener diode, if the voltage is less than 6 volt for the applied Zener voltage, we say that it is under the Zener breakdown, and if it is greater than 6 volt, we say that it is under the avalanche breakdown. The second difference between avalanche and Zener is the temperature coefficients are negative in Zener breakdown, and in avalanche they are positive. The third is the breakdown occurs due to high electric field, and it is because of the kinetic energy, and the VI curve is very sharp, and this VI curve is not sharp as Zener breakdown. So this is the basic difference between your normal Zener diode is between normal breakdown, Zener breakdown and avalanche breakdown. Now looking at the characteristics, looking at the application part, how Zener diode can be considered as a voltage regulator, okay, base or Zener or voltage regulator, or you can say that a stabilizer. Okay, so if you look at this particular diagram over here, okay, so DC input voltage from a rectifier or a smoothing circuit is applied to a voltage regulator. So this the whole diagram or the whole circuit diagram is voltage regulator. Okay, but for the voltage regulator, the input supply what we apply here, it is from half wave, either it is from half wave rectifier, okay, or it can be from full wave rectifier. Okay, we will study detail about how half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier works. Okay, but we consider for this Zener as a diode as a voltage regulator that we are applying DC voltage to this particular points. So plus here, minus here. So minus is as equal to 0 voltage. Okay, now if I say that this is the positive and this is negative, if I take this as the anode part and if I take this as the cathode part, so minus is applied to the anode and plus is applied to the cathode. It means your Zener diode is under the reverse bias condition. So under the reverse bias condition, it is operated, or you can simply say that the Zener diode is turned on. So it is as equal, or if you draw the equivalent circuit diagram for this particular circuit Zener diode as for an voltage regulator, so it will be as equal as this is the resistor, and if I say that if the Zener diode, if I take it as a switch over here, this is plus and this is minus. Okay, so under the reverse bias, your Zener diode works. It is nothing but it is closed switch. It is closed switch. So if I say that the Zener diode is operated under the forward bias, it means your Zener diode is operating under the open switch condition. So open switch means there is, even if I apply even if I apply any voltage, for example 5 volt supply, it will be here till the flow of current will be till this particular switch. It means it will not allow any amount of current to flow through the further part of the circuit diagram. So if I say this is V out, so it will not work. So if I say the Zener diode is forward bias, reverse bias, then whatever the amount of voltage, DC voltage, if I apply here, so it will be just as equal as short circuit. It is short circuit. So the amount of current will flow through this particular circuit diagram. Okay, so the analysis can be done in either way also. So if I say this resistance is a series resistance, okay, or you can simply take it as a resistance where we try to oppose the flow of charge through that particular path, okay, then it is as equal as we are trying to limit the flow of current. So it is RS is also called as current limiting resistance. Now, how this will work? So this Zener diode, it will work under by connecting simple Zener as a stabilizer, okay, where the output of the rectifier is applied, okay, for more stable output voltage, for the more stable output voltage can be produced, okay. So what is the resistance RS? So the resistance RS is connected in series with the Zener diode. Why we connect a resistance here is because the resistance is tried to limit the flow of charge or the flow of current through the diode with the source voltage, okay. So this voltage we call it as a source voltage, which is connected in any of the particular fashion or any of the combination, or this can be plus, okay, or this can be minus, or this can be minus, or vice versa, okay. So the stabilized output voltage Vout, it is taken from the output of the Zener diode, not across the resistance RL. So though the resistance RL, we say that it is a load resistance, but still we take the output voltage across the Zener diode. Okay, now the Zener diode is connected with its cathode terminal connected to the positive. We can see the positive terminal of the Zener diode, it is connected to the positive of the DC supply. So it is reverse bias because basically the Zener diode is operated under the reverse bias, right? And if you see the operating voltages or the operating point is for the Zener diode is nothing but in the breakdown region. So the resistance RS is selected to limit the maximum flow of current through the circuit diagram, or you can say through the diode. So we should not allow the maximum or the excess amount of current through this particular path. So therefore, the value of resistance RS should be selected in such a way that it should try to limit the flow of charge through the circuit diagram. Now, with no load connected to the circuit, now you can go with any other possibility, some case studies for this Zener diode. For example, if you are not connecting any load to the circuit, no load is nothing but is equal to 0. So IL will be equal to 0. No amount of current is flowing through the load, and all the circuit current passes through the Zener diode, which dissipates its maximum power. Okay, so if you are not trying to connect any load, then where the current should then where actually the current should flow, right? So there is no path for the current to flow across the load resistance part or across the load, because we have not connected any load. Then what happens is there is a dissipation of the current will be getting dissipated in terms of power. So when you try to measure the power across that particular load, then it will be a maximum power. Okay, so the second case is when you try to put some load across the resistance RL, then there is a possibility that your amount of current which flows through this particular path, it will be minimum because the load is utilizing that particular current. So making it any condition or making some ratings, okay, or you can say that some maximum power ratings, okay, it should not exceed. It should not exceed, because if it exceeds that particular point, okay, there is a possibility that we may have some high impedance conditions. Okay, so the load should be always connected in such a way that it should be in parallel with the resistance RL. So when you measure the Zener voltage, okay, it will be equal to the voltage of that particular resistance part. So there is a minimum Zener current which is required for the stabilization of voltage, such that the effect which is obtained across that particular load, okay, under the load condition, the one thing we need to remember is that we should consider under the load condition. Okay, you cannot make it completely zero, because for a zero load, obviously there will be a huge power dissipation, okay, across that particular resistance part. Okay, when you measure the maximum, the power will be always maximum, because we don't have any path where the current will be utilized. So if you try to put some load, okay, then there will be some kind of effect on that particular breakdown region all the time. Okay, and when you try to set some limits, okay, either it can be upper limit or it can be the lower limit, based on the limits of the based on the current, based on that particular limit, okay, then the power rating of the devices will also change. So one condition when we use as the Zener diode is nothing but we should supply the Vs voltage, it should be greater than Zener voltage. Okay, so there are two voltages are there in this particular regulator. One is nothing but Vz. Vz is nothing but the Zener voltage, and Vs is nothing but the input DC voltage. So the condition for the proper stabilization is your Vs current, Vs voltage should be always greater than Vz voltage. So then only the proper stabilization is possible. Okay, but there is some problem with this stabilizer, okay, or Zener diode stabilizer circuit diagram, is that the diode sometimes generate the electrical noises. It is possible, right? Because it's a electronic circuit. Okay, if no proper DC output voltage is supplied for the Zener diode, it may produce some kind of a noise. Okay, you just take an example of the stabilizer which you people use for your refrigerator, right? We keep one stabilizer, voltage stabilizer or voltage regulator box at the top of the stabilizer, right? Why we do this? Because if any unwanted voltage or a high voltage comes to that particular refrigerator, it may damage. So if I put a stabilizer or if I put an voltage regulator box at the between a direct voltage and the refrigerator, there may be possibility that it may prevent your refrigerator from getting damaged. Okay, but what is the problem here? Because of the circuit diagram, because of the internal connection of that particular device, okay, the stabilizer will produce some kind of noise. You people just go near to that particular refrigerator and try to listen. Okay, it will create some kind of noise, and that noise, it is because of the Zener diode. Okay, normally this problem it's just a common in all the it is just a common, because we have a lot of capacitor, we have some resistance, okay, across the Zener diode, which may be required some additional smoothing. So smoothing cannot be eliminated completely, but it can be negligible. Some amount of noise will be always there in that device, but we cannot completely avoid. Okay, so there may be other noise also because of other any extra circuitry part or the internal connectivity of that particular stabilizer. Okay, so therefore Zener diode can be best used as an voltage stabilizer for a many applications. Okay, I just given one example of your normal refrigerator. Okay, so this is how we try to go for the understanding of the Zener diode, which is operated always under the reverse bias. We have two effects. One is the Zener effect and another is the avalanche effect. Okay, so for a Zener effect, the voltage should be less than the 6 volt, and for the avalanche effect, it will be greater than the 6 volt. Okay, and the second thing is how this can be used as an application part. This can be used as a voltage regulator in many of the home appliances or any where if we require the stability of the current for many applications, then we can go for such kind of devices. So with this, I conclude this topic of Zener voltage, Zener diode, and how the Zener diode can be used by making use of for the development of stabilizer or stabilization circuit part. So in the next video lecture, we will see about what is rectifier, how the rectifier rectification is done. And one is half wave rectifier and another is full wave rectifier. Thank you.